Hello to you and your homegirls. 3 looks, 1 palette. Let's do it. This is Beauty Bay Botanical, 42 pans. I'm going to try to be as informative as I can because this video is a little bit shorter. This color story is very much so complete to me. I am inspired by a look from a movie called Life Size. Miss Tyra Banks. I will put it up on the screen. I'm starting with this shade called Clay. It does look like desaturated red clay. I'm using that as a transition all over the eye pretty much, all up through the crease. This look was really fun to do. I love that movie with Tyra. I want to watch it again. I haven't seen it in so long, and that was such a look. Tyra ate that up. That was such a cute look. So Tyra's eye was pretty much green, and it looks so pretty on her complexion. And this palette is just so much fun to me. I've come full circle with the color green, and I really know how to work with it now, so I'm excited. I'm using the same bronzer that I use on my face to deepen the green. And then we're going to do pretty much a green smoky eye. I did learn that I do need a natural crease shade when doing a green smoky eye. You can't just put on a green smoky eye. You got to make it work with your complexion, or I do at least. I love smoky eyes. It's my favorite eyeshadow look. I'm using this shade called Samphire as my depth shade. I was working harder and not smarter. I do have an eyeshadow base that is this exact shade of green, and I should have used that, but I didn't think to do it. So I'm starting with my deepest shade, Samphire, and I had to work hard to kind of get this on there, but Beauty Bay is so true to plan. Like, this shade looks like the exact shade of green that it is in the pan. I did get a little bit of fallout, sweeping that away. And then Tyra's eye was a very light spring green. Mine is a little deeper because I'm trying to make it align with my complexion. Like, I'm trying to have the depth match my complexion. So that's why I use like a deeper green than she did. So then I went into this shade called Peppermint, which is a really pretty lighter green. And I'm blending out Samphire with that. And I did have to run that back a couple times. One more time. And then I'm going to set my eyebrow with this shade called Tundra. So pretty. I love the neutrals in this palette. They're perfect for me. Set that eyebrow, and then y'all know I like to blend and make everything look like one. That is a Lancome pencil, I think in the shade Metropolitan Green. Putting that in the lash line, and then blending it out with the shade Ivy, which is a very deep green. I will repeat this look. I really enjoyed it. I wish I did more stuff on the lower lash line. I'm using Peppermint to blend out the deeper green that I put on my lower lash line. I wish I did like more shimmers and stuff on my lower lash line. I'm using Peppermint in the lower lash line. I'm trying to choose a shimmer just to halo. It was between Artichoke and Pistachio, and I'm going to choose the lighter one on the left because it was daytime. So I'm just going to grab some on my finger and tap it in the center of my eye. This is where I should have had that base down because I kept losing my shadow because I didn't really have a base. I love to like blend out my shimmers to look like a fairy. This is my favorite mascara at the moment. This is the Fenty Hella Thick mascara. It's fire for someone that doesn't like to wear lashes, and this is what we got. It would have been so much better with the base, but I really enjoyed this. This is a very, I don't know what the word is. Like, I loved it. Very much springtime. I loved it. This so cute. Look 2. Jump scare. My apologies. I'm starting with the shade Bramble, which is in the corner of the palette. I don't know if I dropped something or why I was looking so crazy. I think I was surprised at how deep this shade is. I didn't expect it to be such a deep purple. It kind of looks like more of like a maroon in the pan, but it's like a deeper purple. I'm using clay again in my inner crease. And then I'm using the shade Eggplant for depth in my crease. I've been really loving this full cut crease. I've been doing this ever since the spring came. I just really like this for the spring. It's a great way not to wear eyeliner, but to shape your eye. So I've been loving it. I'm going into clay to blend out Eggplant. And then I'm using my Morphe Ultra Lavender palette for like blending purposes. This is the Thread Matte Eye Paint in the shade Purple Rain. I cut the crease with that. And then I'm also going to use the Morphe Ultra Lavender palette for my lid shade. The purples in the Beauty Bay palette are limited. I was showing y'all my blush because the blush was supposed to be part of the look. It didn't end up how I wanted it, but I did like the blush. I did a look similar to this on Mother's Day with pink, and it was stunning. I went back into Eggplant to create like an open lower lash line. And then I'm just feathering that out. And then I'm going to fill that open area with Waterfall from the Beauty Bay palette. That's a very pretty color. It's multi-chrome. It's like gold, green, purple, very pretty color. I was feeling it. I love purple. It's my favorite color. I also use that same shimmer in my brow, the arch of my brow. And then, of course, I like to blend my shimmers. I realized while I was filming this that I have an Ultra Lavender and an Ultra Violet palette. This is Rarity from the Bella Beauté Bar Ultra Violet palette. Can you tell that I like purple? This is a Moira liner that I'm putting in the lower lash line, trying to get rid of my harsh contour. And that's a purple look. I was just having fun this day. Loved it. Okay, look 3. I came home. This was the makeup that I wore for the day. I was showing y'all that I already had eyeshadow on, just like a little nudie eye. I'm going to use these 2 shades. I'm going to use Ash and Hemp. It's been raining like crazy, so I wanted to do rainy skies on my eyes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just doing the eyeshadow over top the eyeshadow look that I wore during the day. I'm starting with Ash, and it's pretty much just going to be that. I'm starting off in the outer corner into the crease, and I'm using Hemp on my lid simply because I just wanted to use more shades. It didn't matter. I could have kept using Ash, and it doesn't matter that I'm using a different shade. As I blend, shout out to Alyssa for green lighting this video. Here, I was trying to choose a brush. I'm going to use this Mario brush. I just wanted to make sure it was the right size. I'm going back into Ash, and I'm applying some of that shadow on the bridge of my nose. I'm going to be drawing some clouds on this cloudy sky. I love this palette because it's a spring palette that acknowledges all the rainy days. It's not just pastels and floral tones and no depth. It's a really dope ass spring palette. I'm going to be using the About Face eye paint. That one is in White Noise. And I'm going to start drawing my clouds with a kind of like a flat concealer brush. I'm just doing like this little 3 hump method. I learned this from Lynn's Makeup Looks. That's the girl that has the collab with Blend Bunny. She has like those 2 palettes, the waterliner palette and the colorful palette with the brushes. She's absolutely adorable. She's so creative and fun. And yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people do clouds. So I'm like, let's do some clouds on this gray sky. So I did that. I'm going to go into this pretty grayish green called Fossil. And I'm going to blend out like the bottom of the clouds with that. It looks so good. I should have did like an up close. I love these shades. I love the shade names. I love like herbs. I think the last video I had on my medicinal herbs t-shirt. I love stuff like that. I love lavender. I love patchouli, chamomile. All that stuff is just so cool to me. In the first look, we used that shade called Samphire, and I had to look that up. And that is like it's like a herb slash vegetable. It's like a salty, like green bean. It's so cool. Here, I'm wrapping the gray around town to my lower lash line. Also bringing Fossil down there as well, blending it out. And then here, I'm trying to choose a shimmer. That one was Rippled, a dark silver. And then I tried out Lightning, which is a silver. I think that's the one we're going to end up using. And then I really wanted to do a look with this shade called Quartz. I feel like Quartz and Lightning kind of look similar, but Quartz is a bit deeper. We're going to put Lightning all over the lid. I mean, goes with the theme. I think I was getting some fallout. I did go into Quartz to add some shimmer to the clouds. I'm going to do some graphic liner. I'm going to use the Neon from this Blend Bunny palette. If you watched my haul, I picked that up. I wanted to do some Neon Lightning, girl, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had to get off and look up the doodle. So I did that one. That was cute. And then I didn't want to be symmetrical, so I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do the second one. So I wanted it to look like liner. Girl, I had no clue what I was doing. I was just fucking around. I ain't no perfectionist. I'm an artist, but I'm not sensitive about my shit, so I don't care. This was fun, though. I really enjoyed it. And then I think I'm putting some glitter on top of the liner. I'm so happy with the color of that liner. That's so pretty. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. Mascara. This is e.l.f. Lash Beads. And then I wasn't happy with the shimmer, so I went into Danessa. And this is where I start doing the most. The green, the neon kind of made my too much jeans start acting up. So I pulled all types of different green shimmers to try to tie in the neon when I should have just left it alone. I was doing the most. This is a really fun look and the spring that we don't talk about. Okay, y'all, I'm not going to ramble. One, because I'm back and forth between this seat and putting some ribs in the oven. I have some downtime because I just put them in the oven. And then y'all saw I use water liner, so my eyes are watering. I put on lashes because the look just needed lashes. And nothing sends me into a rage faster. Truly, my mental is unstable to be putting on lashes. That's why I don't put lashes on. Anyway, Beauty Bay Botanical. I be having to catch myself from not saying botanicals. I don't know why I want to say that. Botanicals. Beauty Bay Botanical. This is 42 pans of eyeshadow. I love Beauty Bay. I have multiple Beauty Bay palettes. This makes my 4th Beauty Bay palette. I didn't think I was going to get any more Beauty Bay because they've been releasing a lot. And every time I see it, I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. So this is Beauty Bay's first time expanding from one of their limited releases. So Botanical was a 20 pan, started off as a 20 pan. A limited edition, much like Dark Fantasy or Love Notes or Age of Opulence. I don't have any of those special ones. That was before my time. And when Beauty Bay says limited edition, they're not kidding. It's limited edition. So they expanded on their most recent limited edition and made a 42. And 42s, 16s, 9s are their regular formatting. And the 20s are like the special limited editions. So again, this was their like first time expanding on a limited edition. And this is so my kind of color story. Y'all know I like colors with neutrals, and I've bought a lot of eyeshadow palettes to figure out what I like, and this is what I like. I like a mid-toned, in the middle, desaturated color story with some fun pops, some wearable neutrals, something for me to be creative, something for me to be wearable, something for me to be in the middle. And that's what I like to do with when I do Three Looks One palette. I like to give y'all something wearable, something a little bit more expressive. You can wear it out if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to. And then something that just, oh, I had a weird day and I couldn't wait to come do this. And this was really fun. This is stunning. These greens, you would think that this is too many greens, but the undertones are so fucking cool. They're so cool. Like the one I used today, hemp, it looks like legit khaki. Like it looks so damn good. Yeah, the undertones are beautiful. Samphire was so pretty. That's such a vibrant green. I made myself use this for a week even before doing a Three Looks one palette with it, and it's been a ball. This is an instant favorite. I'm gonna love this palette. Like this is gonna be one of my favorites. I'm already going ham on it and I'm gonna continue to do so. This shade Mushroom, this taupey, I put that all over the lid one day. Stunning. I love gray shadow. I love gray. I love taupe. I love cool tones. And that's what we got going on here. Like this is just so fire. The mattes are great. What I do notice is that I have to dip in a lot. Go back, go back, go back. So it's a buildable formula, very good for beginners. Even though I did start my collection with the Beauty Bay palette, and as a beginner, I did struggle with the Beauty Bay formula. But I guess with a little bit more experience now, I can see how this would be good for a beginner, but I did struggle with Beauty Bay as a beginner. And now that I'm a little bit more seasoned, having to dip in multiple times is a little bit annoying, but I'll take that. I'll take that for these colors. These colors are so damn pretty. Any palette that has a transition shade for me is gonna be something that I go to. And this Oak shade, Oak hates to see me coming because she goes into my crease every single time. I didn't do it for the Three Looks because that's what I've been doing for the whole week. And Eggplant hates to see me coming as like a depth shade. I love purple. It's my favorite color. The mattes are better than the shimmers. I expected more from the shimmers. They're pretty. They're just not high impact. Y'all see, even for this look, I had to go into Danessa and get the silver. It's just but I'm glad to have a 42 with shimmers because my bright mattes is bright mattes. There's no shimmers in there, and that's annoying to me. I don't do all matte looks, so I don't all matte palettes kind of get on my nerves at this point. I have to go to a meeting tomorrow. I'm probably gonna do something office appropriate with the browns. It's crazy because it's some browns I haven't even used yet. I haven't used Moth yet. I haven't used Nest yet. I'm really in my spring bag. I'm really trying to keep everything light and airy. And this is such a cool spring palette. I don't like spring palettes. This is a very cool spring palette. This is great. I bought this. I remember the day I ordered it too. I was having a rough day and it was my therapy. I did a little retail therapy. This is way healthier than a shot or, you know, acting out, acting a fool. This, $40 for emotional regulation, and then I have this, and then I get to have all this fun? Come on, that's healthy. Very much so healthy. Amazing. I love this. So good. I mentioned in my haul that this reminds me of the Petamorphosis that Pat McGrath just dropped, and I think it does. But I just love this variety. I love how this feels infinite to me. It is infinite. The fact that I can have so much fun with it, and then I can also be serious with it. Happy to have it. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. There is some fallout. I don't care. That's what shadow's supposed to do. That's it. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you like the vibes, please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.